Erica?
Thank you. Good morning, everyone, or good afternoon. I am Erica Herval, and like Mona, I have been in real estate for 21 years. I kicked off in Las Vegas when I said I would never get into real estate, but here I am 21 years later. And I joined Global Chamber probably 8 years ago to expand connections globally. And I started off in residential and started working with clients who were from abroad buying property in the US, and then began working with investors, which led to commercial properties. And now I do a lot of off-market property consulting globally. And that really boosted during the pandemic, of course, where I made some meaningful connections on many continents, actually. And those people that I connected to at that time are still colleagues where they have buyers buying in the US and we have US buyers buying abroad. So very happy to be here with all of you. Thank you so much.
Thank you, Ariel. And hopefully you put James up so I can see it when I call Bill. Michael Mara.
Hey Jim, great to see you here. I'm in your Renaissance group, and my name's Michael Mara. I'm up outside of Boston, Mass. Got about 25 years in commercial brokerage. I pivoted into opportunity zones when they came out, 2017, 2018, and got all the cuts and bruises going through round one, and now. I'm very excited about OZ 2.0, and I'm in the process of building a cohort. If anyone would have interest, joining, and it's to bring together exactly like what Jim is doing, bringing together investors, service providers, so forth, to really try to help build the opportunity zone community and make real impact where it's needed in these census tracts. Thank you.
Thank you. Eduardo? Oh, oh, did he just maybe he put instead of disappear? So Ruby, can you unmute and introduce yourself? Okay, we'll go to Ann.
Hey Ruby, are you there? You're breaking up a little bit, Jim. That may be why.
Oh, it's internet at my hotel.
Gotcha. Okay. Ruby doesn't look like she's unmuting. Who would you like to go to next?
Well, just introduce everyone. So maybe you and Ellen kind of run the show a little bit, and I'll answer questions because of my internet.
Breaking up a little bit. Ellen, how about you? Are you in a good place?
Yes. Can you hear me?
Very, very good.
Great.
I would like to welcome everybody on behalf of Global Chamber. I like just to say at the beginning that Jim is amazing. He's just an extraordinary leader with so much knowledge and connections and passion. Even yesterday, as he and I were chatting about what we were going to be doing today, he was connecting me to a variety of people and asking questions and just moving and shaking. He goes above and beyond the call of duty on so many levels. And so when we were talking about some things to do together with Global Chamber, he's been involved for quite a while. He's on our, I believe, Los Angeles chapter advisory board. I've added him also to our global board called the Global Council, and he's just so helpful, not just to us but to everybody, all around. So thank you, Jim, for all that you do. You are unbelievable. We at Global Chamber have been started with 10 years ago with exporters, and we've moved on to investors and collected a group of people who are doing global business. And so I think it's kind of funny. And Ellen, when you joined Global Chamber, it kind of highlighted it for me that a lot of the forms that we have for members to fill in are very much oriented toward exporting. And so we're in the midst of updating and changing that, because as James has pointed out, the global real estate community is so integral and so part of everything that we do as a global business community. And so we look forward to finding ways to bring on global real estate leaders like those of you here in the room. Some have already, the early adopters have already come on. And so the next stage, we'd love to bring more and more on and build programming and initiatives that make sense and benefit the real estate leaders even more. People like Erica, who've been involved with Global Chamber for quite a while, know the value that we can create. And I think, Erica, the next step is really to find more ways to bring the community together. I know, been thinking about this for quite a while. And so did you have any thoughts about that, or is there anything that I left out that or off base?
Not at all. And I think because we're such a close-knit group here and we've formed very good connections, often without ever meeting in person, I think it is relying on a trusted base for us to go out and connect further and spread our message of how we do it. Great example, I was speaking with someone I was connected to through a Global Chamber member. He lives in Slovenia and had traveled to Poland yesterday to meet clients for real estate, and they're spreading his name to go somewhere else and do some business in other countries. So I think once you have your core and expand upon that and reach out to one another, because you've heard me say before, we're stronger together than apart, then I think that network grows exponentially and you always have your key people that you can go to help expand your business and to support one another in the process.
So that's cool. I will say, going back to James, I alternating between James and Jim. I've been calling him James for so long because that's the name on everything. But he mentioned that he likes Jim, so my brother is David, and he's not Dave, so I call him David to be. And so I'm kind of sensitive to that. I'm Doug or Douglas or Dougie or Grandpa or Hey You or whatever. It's like whatever. So Jim, thank you for your flexibility in terms of my going back and forth between both names. Erica, thank you for making that comment, and I think it goes to leaders like you. And Mona is another one, by the way, that's just like off the charts in terms of not only what she's involved with, but her globalness and her connections within the real estate industry. She single-handedly for Central Florida, pulled in an executive director that she's working with, Khalid Munir, who himself is an extraordinary leader and real estate leader as well. Mona, did you already introduce yourself? Did I miss that?
Yes, I did.
Okay, very good. Thank you for joining today, and thank you for I think the meeting also yesterday that you were part of. Back to you, Ellen. I just was hoping to make a couple initial comments, and thank you for pulling us together here today.
Well, thank you so much, Doug. I do have to say, Global Chamber, just by joining, I received great benefit due to I visited Dubai just a few weeks ago for the IPS meetings, and I also set up some meetings based on a few people that Doug, the Global Chamber, introduced to me, and it was very, very valuable. That's why this organization is such a close-knit organization. And everybody here, I have to say, the caliber of people that's on this call is amazing. So I would highly promote, joining Global Chamber. I think one of the things that was really missing was really on the commercial real estate or the real estate side of the business for Global Chamber. So hopefully James and I can shed some light and bring some trends to everybody. So a few things is that as we are discussing about global trends, so I would like to share a little bit, if you don't mind, Doug, I would like to share a little bit about some of the key trends in global market and some of the things that I saw when I was visiting Dubai.
That'll be amazing. Thank you.
Okay. So as everybody know that the global real estate market is actually evolving very rapidly, right? And there's a lot of economic shift right now with technological advancement and also change in consumer preferences, right? So a few of the key trends, I'm not going to go too much into detail, but just to give everybody an overview, and then we can go into details if you have any further questions. So one of the key trends that a lot of people are promoting right now in all the country, including Dubai, is the sustainability and green buildings. And that's what they're pushing for. And they want to create a net zero goal um, in the future. And also there's energy efficient designs and renewable energy integration, such as solar panel and smart HVAC. And there's a few new systems that's coming up in terms of producing clean electricities that a lot of the new innovation that we haven't seen before. And of course, there's also the certification like such as LEED, which is gaining a lot of tractions too, right? And in terms of technology integrations, what we're seeing a lot of prop tech, AI, and also blockchains. And also for property management software, a lot of people are using AI, which allows them to take property management from A all the way to Z, so the full service. And whereas before you might need a lot of people to staff to help you run a property management company. Now I'm seeing where people are actually, you just need a couple people technically, and everything is running in the background. So that's why it's pretty amazing. And the other trends that we're seeing right now is a lot of the flexibility in workspace. So there's hybrid work model, such as co-working and also flexible office leases. And also there's a residential demand, which is shifting from suburban and secondary city because of affordability and space, right? And the other big trend that they talked about is urbanization, affordable housing. So this is something that I think is more related for the North American countries. Affordable housing is actually a huge problem right now. And that's why we're seeing opportunity zones in the US and in Canada. Even the cities and the government are trying to get involved in the affordability constructions. So some of the opportunities that we're also seeing is that there is a high growth potential in the Asian Pacific, Africa, Latin America due to urbanization and middle class population. Some of the country in our last call we were discussing were India and also Nigeria. And also there's a lot of sustainable development, such as green building, which is attracting a lot of premium rents and also long-term investors. And there, of course, government is providing a lot of incentives to make this green building investment worthwhile, right? And the prop tech innovation, lots of AI startups in not only Dubai and also in a lot of Asian countries. And right now, NVIDIA is opening up the big office in Taiwan right now. And also for repurposing assets, that's also another one where a lot of commercial office were leaving vacant. So that's why they do adaptive reuse to change the use to make it more so people can start using those vacant spaces. So some of the challenges, as everybody know, we're facing a certain time because of inflation, rising interest rate, geopolitical tension, which is impacting affordability investments, right? And some of the hurdles that we also face is the regulatory hurdles right now. A lot of government are coming up with complex zoning laws, all the different things, so they can get more money, right, for the government. And the other thing is we're seeing a lot of climate risk with what's happening around the world, and with all the hurricanes, flood, fire, anything you can think of, we're seeing it right now. So that's something that a lot of people are very concerned about. And the supply chain disruption due to geopolitical uncertainties. So these are things that we're actually seeing that's really affecting the commercial real estate industry. And that's the reason why it's important that to keep on top of all the information. So in case, if you're in this industry, you need to know what's coming down the pipeline. So there's a trend that can happen. So the other thing I wanted to discuss about is I put a link up for the Renaissance Global. So it's actually a commercial real estate global networking opportunity where you can sign up and join. So if you are in the real estate industry, doesn't matter if you're residential, commercial, if you can join, we have partnership. We have a lot of advisors there who can help out in terms of giving advice or provide support in the real estate industry. And the other thing I wanted to share is that I'm part of the CCIM director and also on the CCIM Foundation. So we do have a software program which is called Site to Do Business, which allows you to do a lot of analysis, implementing AIs to find a lot of information. So if any of you are interested in the commercial real estate industry, that is something that you can look into. And of course, James is going to talk about RESAS. So I think one of the things, RESAS is a platform where people can connect with each other about commercial real estate, about their listings. So it's like the Instagram or the Facebook of commercial real estate, if we want to put it that way. And the other key thing is there's also a marketing piece, which is through eMedia Link, which they connect a lot of large global portals around the world. So there's a lot of different things that's being worked on in the background. But I think I just want to share with all of you a little bit about it. And if you have any questions, I will leave my contact information. And also you can try to connect me on LinkedIn and we can discuss more about anything you have questions on. Thank you.
So Ellen, thank you on that. And many people already know me, very involved in the chamber, love Doug, the chamber for what we're going to do. And a lot of it, we did start with the import export. I know there's so many parts in WhatsApp that they're sharing, but I know to actually get deals where we know Paula, right? Paula showing up, doing deals, talking to each other is important, but we do need, right, the educational part, learning about each other's country because of what's going on globally, as Ellen said, the geopolitical, the tariffs, those in America, onshoring, but with Paula and other countries, the golden visa, other ways that people want dual visas now. You know, we are going to have guest speakers learning about topics, but we want to do business. So by using Renaissance and Recess for those that are already in the US is the largest non-MLS portal. There's over 800,000. So you most likely are part of Recess anyway. But what we're going to do is within Recess, we're going to form a global chamber group. So within these meetings, people can pass leaders, deals to each other, not just domestic, but globally. So we're going to use their infrastructure. Make sure that it's a global chamber as a benefit. So unless you're part of global chamber, you really cannot access it, right? This is one of the benefits. So then we could put speakers, education, and deal flow to each other, whether it's residential, commercial, and this is the other one too, business brokerage, M&A, because we know a lot of times people are building supply chain, they're building warehouses, they're building industrial, you know, and showrooms attached. So that's a lot of things that are going on. I know we're talking to Paula, hotels, as a lot of people are moving out of the US, not just from California or certain states to Florida, right, Mona? But they are moving outside the world because a lot of retirees are looking to join and be part of. And thank you, Doug, when I went to the Philippines with friends, how you can move around the world. And I know with Chamber, we can start teaching people how you can live abroad, how you can work abroad, plugging it into the global chamber to do business. But now we can help people find locations, right, outside the US, in the US, where you should live, where you can go. And we can put together within global chamber kind of the, do they speak English, you know, safety ratings, healthcare, right? The topics that a lot of, I hate to say it, a lot of the friends of mine are all 50 and over, up to maybe, you know, 80 years old, and they say we can't live in the US anymore. Where can we live? And I know Global Chamber can fit that for those that of us that love traveling, but also how can we live abroad? Where can we live abroad? And to be honest, a lot of people here have extreme amount of skill set. How can you work virtually, right? Because we still are in a virtual hybrid world. How can you plug in your expertise to make money? And Doug, it was great with our chairwoman, Dr. Sarita, right? Jackson, she shared, I don't sell products, I sell services, right? So we will have her speak because we all, yes, we sell the real estate product, but we have so much more knowledge and advice and consulting. We can actually sell a service to people. So what we hope to do within the Global Chamber Real Estate Group is one, get to know each other, build a community, sharing knowledge and information, using the technology so everyone could pass deals to each other, right? We trust each other, we know each other, we're going to pass deals. I can pass a deal to Paula now, right, Paula? Because I trust you. I've seen you, I got to know you. So if I know deals, and we've been doing this right now, Portugal, call Paula. Paula will take good care of you. And that's what we hope within this group. We can help each other, or in Vegas or Portland. Oh, Erica, I got to tell you, we're going to do a big Hispanic development discussion in Portland because of what's going on, right? They got to bring the business back to Portland. So you know what's going on. So there's all these interesting things that not only in the US or in North America, right, with the supply chain and NAFTA and other rules, but now global business. But we hope from this that we're going to help everyone educate, get great guest speakers that this group wants to hear about and who else wants to plug in, but also having the technology so we can do and pass deals to each other. And Doug, with your help with Global Chamber, we'll really start building this into our own community here, sharing information with everyone so we can, one, help everyone get some more business, but really it's the friendship. Erica, and then I'll pass it over to you, Doug.
You raised a very good point, and Paula is amazing. I've had the distinct pleasure of connecting with her, but just today I saw an article that Portugal is the top destination in the world for US citizens to become expats. And another thing that I wanted to point out is the meaningfulness of this group, and we've had the pleasure, a lot of us, of connecting together one-on-one or as a group in other forums. But it's so important now to realize that so many countries, like Ellen was saying about Dubai, the same focus that Dubai has because of climate change or construction costs or whatever it might be, are the same challenges, for example, that Tanzania and other African countries are experiencing, or South America's experiencing. So there's a colleague of mine was for years in the energy space through his family, and now he's working on building data centers and power plants in Chile and Argentina, and he's based in North Carolina. And then our Luis Miranda has opportunities for industrial manufacturing in Mexico. And then there's other projects too. For example, senior housing is in demand in many countries. So this collaboration of us, we can share best practices or things that have worked, or what our challenges are, and brainstorm collectively, which makes this beautiful. And interestingly, Doug, I don't know if you saw this, but IFES, our connected group in South Korea, just started rolling out these amazing bus stop designs where they're sheltered, so to protect you from fine dust particles or extreme heat or cold. And inside they have adapters for charging electronic devices. They have safety, they have CCTV. They're brilliant. It's a brilliant design. And these are the type of innovative things that I think once we begin collaborating, that even further expands our opportunities to connect and do business together. That's all.
That's great. And that's like as like the Dr. Yun that you and I met in Las Vegas in January.
Exactly.
Yeah. So fantastic. Jim, thank you for all of that. Tell us a little bit more about your vision about how best to proceed. What are some of the things that we should be thinking about right now?
Yeah, so we should definitely get the core group together, build a list of all real estate, those that want to, obviously promote it in Global Chamber, and we just organize, right? I don't mind with Ellen, and sometimes we get it launched, but then this is our group, right? Those that want to serve, those that want to lead, those that want to commit. But once we start organizing, and it could be in the beginning, it's just one big group. And like many others, when it gets too big, we have to break into regions. So you know within the calendar where you want to show up. And then we can use the recess to build communities to share so everyone can get deal flow. Because what I know everyone wants, great, we listen, we learn. Where's the deals, right? We've all heard that. But if we have a technology, we can plug in and we can code it, because I do run Recess. I did invest in it, and eMedia that Ellen and I are involved in. That's a global platform with 10 million eyeballs. So we always said within Recess, we have 800,000 members. Within Linja or eMedia, we have 10 million, which is mostly in China market, which we all know from trade, right, Doug? When we went to the trade group, sometimes we don't want to deal with China. We deal with China. We don't deal with China. Okay, now we're back again. But around the world, they want to stay out of it a lot of times. Mexico, right, Luis? Right? They don't care. We want to work with Mexico. We want to work with China, right? So sometimes we think U.S. centric, but around the world, they want to stay out of it. They just want to do business with both the U.S. and China and stay out of this fight, right? And that's the exciting thing is this is the global chamber. So we don't, even though many of us may be in the US, there's opportunities as we flow. So one, getting a list, forming this group, seeing who wants to serve, speak, MC. We want to give everyone a chance to lead each kind of meeting every time. And then using technology. So when we're away, so when we're not meeting, we're sending leads into a system. I got an off-market deal. I got this, I got that. I'm looking for this. We could start using this as a global chamber, sending deal flow. And we're like, I could take it, right? Recess was built for those that use it in the US of sending deals, and they send deals to everyone within the area or product type. And you can raise your hand and say, I will take that deal. And then you contact that individual and make a deal, right? Put an agreement, work on the listing or deal together, work on the buy side, put it together. So we could start on that on a very simplistic way, Doug, and then really evolve it into more complex matters like Ellen mentioned, asset property management. Everyone wants money, equity, capital markets for development. We can start evolving into the higher services, and we all welcome those that want to join Renaissance, since we're already building that, where within our group, we have 30 past global presidents, like Ellen is one of the presidents at CCIF. I know moving up the ranks, many other leaders and presidents, but as we start sharing that we're not just in a bubble, but with global chambers benefits, that's the big one, working with other groups. And we're saying with commercial, there's FIAPSI development, there's RICS, there's, obviously CCIM, SIOR, IRM, international, the different ones in Asia, IREC. I mean, there's so many, and many of us on at least the commercial or residential, we're part of it. And I'm still very involved in NAR. So because of that, we're partnerships with everything around the world. But what we want to do is bring it all here to Global Chamber as a benefit to Global Chamber building our community. And then however we want to collaborate with the group and Doug's permission of how we want to, work with each other. But I do want to find this as building friendships, educating, and sending referrals and deals to each other. Because we do need the tech and we need Doug, the background and help from a Global Chamber to put it. But we do have a lot of the infrastructure already with Renaissance, which, like I said, I love Global Chamber because of the friendships I made, many people here. And then how we can evolve and grow it. And more people, when they see testimonials, I did a deal. I worked with Paula. I worked with Erica. I worked with Mona. I worked with Mark, Ruby. I worked with somebody. They're going to go, wow, well, I'm getting some business. I'm getting some deals. And people will then, right, for the beginning, their selfish deal, getting some business. But then you're going to start contributing, right? Because we want to make sure those that put in effort, volunteer, put in work, get some benefits. But Doug, could you call on everyone? Because I'd love to get to know everyone on this call and for everyone to get to know each other. And we could work on our group, one through LinkedIn and with Global Chamber, making friendships. If you don't mind introducing everyone or having them introduce, so we could hear and get to know everyone.
Sure, very good. I think some have started, but let's continue to go around the room. I think Victor Danda, are you able to speak? Are you open to right now to talk from Mexico? Oh, you are unmuting. Okay,
Oh,
I
yeah.
saw you mute there
Yeah,
for a second. How are you?
I'm here. Great, great. Thanks, Doc. How are you?
Very, very good. We met you through your father, so thank you for coming in today. Could you introduce yourself and let us know more about what you're involved with?
Yeah, yes, of course. Well, basically, I am now like focused on the real estate here in Merida, Yucatan. It's like the south of Mexico. Here is like growing so much. I don't know if you heard about the project of Tren Maya. It's like a project that is growing so much here in the south of the region, and has a lot of like future. So basically, this region, and also of course the Caribbean, like the Riviera Maya, Cancun, is some place I have contacts with. But I'm focused right now in Merida, in both commercial and residential real estate. So basically, that's like my focus, and I am part of the AMPI. It's like an organization that is connected both into the. It's like a council of real estate agents, but it's the main one here in Mexico.
Brilliant. Thank you very much.
Welcome.
Khalid Munir is not only a real estate leader, but he's just an overall community and business leader and a global leader. Khalid, thank you for joining today. Would you like to introduce yourself, please?
Sure, sure. Thank you so much for that introduction, Doug. I'm Khalid Munir, and I'm based in Orlando, Florida, USA. And I have been in the real estate business, brokerage business for the last 29 years here in Central Florida. So right now, with some craziness going on up in Washington, there is a lot of interest in our investors buying property. Number one, France. Number two, Spain, and number three, Portugal. We have a big Brazilian community here in Central Florida. In fact, 300,000 Brazilians reside here in Central Florida. So I and myself and Mona would love to connect with developers, real estate professionals in Spain, Portugal, France, and Mexico. Those are the hot markets right now where we've been getting calls, people who want to invest in those countries. And I think Global Chamber, Doug, provides an excellent forum for us to engage with each other because, as you say, we built up the relationship with the members of the Global Chamber over a period, so we have that credibility factor.
Would you like to introduce Mona?
Yes, Mona, you're on the call. She's there, I think. She'll.
Yeah, I am here. Good morning again. I'll reintroduce myself. I echo Khalid Munir. We are talking about doing the same thing that James had mentioned, and I'm so grateful that we are here connecting with all of you around the world. There is a lot of opportunities, there is a lot of potential, and there is possibility, and that's what we need to look at despite current world affairs. My name again is Mona Shirkawi, originally from Morocco, stationed in Orlando, Florida. Been living here for 35 years, built businesses, sold businesses, done it all. Today, still a real estate broker for the last 20 years. My passion is to create an impact through finding or helping women, young entrepreneurs find their voices, speak with impact, deliver stellar presentation, and also know how to navigate cross culture and close deals at in any environment, at any moment, anywhere in the world. So that's me.
A Renaissance woman. What do you think, James, so far? What have you learned so far with the people that you've met?
We're going to dominate the world and do a lot of business and have a lot of fun. Well, that's one thing with LNC. This is the thing, Doug. We got to travel the world with Global Chamber, right? This is great. But when you meet people, hug people, see people, I just didn't know how tall Doug was, right? All the time. I keep on going, gosh, Doug is so tall. But the fun thing is, this is great. But now with this, when we actually go to Portugal or go to, Mexico, right? Seeing our different friends in all around the world, or Spain, Brazil, Mark, it's just exciting, right? That we are here, we're doing this, and then eventually Doug, I am ambitious and we'll get sponsorship dollars to put events together that we go around like FIOPSI and other groups, like they're going to, I think, Nigeria, right, Ellen? Like one of our FIOPSI president. But let's find, places that we can get together, break bread, build friendships. That is the most fun, where we say we do the 9 to 5, everyone makes a living, but the 5 to 9 is building friendship, relationship, contacts, volunteering. This is where the magic happens. Doug, that's why I always show up. When you tell me to show up with different events, that's the magic. So I hope from this, we find and we do a global chamber real estate group convention somewhere, and maybe we tie it into, AMPI or different groups, right? We're all part of all those different groups, that enough of us, not just for this, but we add value through another trade organization, and we'll get, because of our massive amount of leaders here, partner with other large global real estate organizations, and we can get their CEOs and everyone to speak. And Doug, maybe putting a deal together to get discounts with MP, with FIOPSI, with CIP. I mean, just so many, and teach people how to be trainers and educators. But this is what the big dream, Doug, is one day we have our event and we can share testimonials of how this is going to be successful. We build strong friendships, and somebody just made a ton of money, says, I'm sponsoring the whole dang thing. That's the goal, Doug. We'd love it, right? As we give back and somebody did $1 billion deal, okay, I got it all covered, Doug. So this is fantastic.
One more thing before Doug, before the next person, we just have to leverage also the languages we speak. We speak the language of the world. So that has to be highlighted
in 98 countries
as well.
Oh, wow.
Could you say that again?
I said there's one more benefit here, and that is leveraging the languages we speak. I personally speak 6. Somebody speaks 3, 4. Somebody speaks 10. We gotta leverage this because we are speaking the languages of the world.
Fantastic. And by the way, I did meet James this week in person, and he does not drink coffee. So all of that energy and passion is naturally driven. So thank you for that. What was that the first time we've met in person? Was that really it?
No, we met before because of a lot of the LA events. But I just, well, every time I see you, I go, gosh, Doug is really tall.
You're taller than me behind me, so maybe that's part of it. Thank you very much. Ruby, whenever you get a chance, we'll be happy to introduce you as well. I see Luis Miranda is here. Luis, are you able to introduce yourself? From Mexico, one of those hot markets discussed earlier.
Yes, hello, Doc. Everyone here, James, Helen, Erica. I see a lot of friends now, very familiar faces, and thank you very much. Well, thank you. As you know, well, I'm based in Guadalajara, Mexico. That's on the west side of the country. The truth is, even with all the uncertainty out there in the world, we have been very busy. It's amazing. Actually, yesterday we had a delegation that came from Utah. These guys are in medical devices, and we have the lowest vacancy rate in Guadalajara since actually 10 years ago. The absorption have been, even this beginning of 25, very high. It's coming to 500,000 square meters. So even with the we know uncertainty is the enemy of investment, but the truth is the fundamentals of Mexico, regardless of what's going on in other parts of the world, it's that has been integrated with US and Canada for more than 30 years now, and that is not going to just be broken in the near future. We see that all the fundamentals and more with USMCA are there. So it's not just that the US can bring up all the manufacturing plants and all their supply chain. It will take a lot of money and a lot of time. And also, as we know, there's a labor issue and shortage sometimes in many places in the US. So we see that at least in the fundamentals are there to keep the integration, and the revision review of the USMCA was supposed to be in 2026, but yesterday there was an announcement, and they are going to actually send it to the second half of this year. They see that it is urgent because, yes, of course, there are many things in the rules of origin that has to be, they have to see what's going on. But the truth is, as I tell you, we are very optimistic because we see many companies coming down. We are discovering nearshore in Mexico solutions. Actually, we start working with location strategy with many companies, and then do the site selection. And once we do the studies, we ask to be the tenant reps. And we have done that for many US and foreign companies that are coming to Mexico. And here in the group of the American Chamber, I know there are many type of assets, and I am very specialized in industrial. But of course, in order to source deals and other type of assets, if there is a specific request, we can go out and look for other types of things because, well, I know there are many Americans very near here in Vallarta, in San Miguel Allende, in Chapala. So if there are requirements, specific requirements that we can help you with, also to find a specific request, we can also do that. Well, I mean, in commercial real estate, in industrial real estate is my expertise. But of course, with all the network and all the contacts that I have and we have in the company, we can also, of course, help you guys in sourcing another type of properties. More than happy to do that.
Brilliant.
That's
Thank you.
Thank you very much for sharing.
no, thanks to you.
I agree with Luis, actually. I think the Mexican, the economic fundamental and the Canadian is actually very strong. I think a lot of people, because of currently right now what's happening, we're also seeing there's a lot of changes right now within the Canadian market. So a couple of facts I want to share is that basically the TSX, which is stock market, is really hitting all-time high. And also, whatever you see in the stock market is a discounting mechanism. It doesn't reflect today's economy. It reflects what investor thinks things are in 6 to 9 month time. So, which is earning interest rate growth. So Canadian large caps, TSX, is outperforming the S&P 500 over the past 12 months. So the momentum right now is Canadian dollar is up. Just, before it was going down, but recently it has gone up quite a bit by 4% year to date. So basically, I do think there's a strong fundamental for the Canadian market too. So I think for Mexico too. So that's why I really agree with what Luis you have mentioned. Thank you.
No, thanks to you. Thanks to everyone.
Ellen, did you want to introduce yourself more fully?
Oh, I forgot to introduce myself, I guess. Hi, everybody. My name is Ellen Su. I'm actually based in Vancouver, Canada, and that's the reason why I was mentioning about the Canadian market. So I'm the executive managing director for Prominent Real Estate Services and Promont Management, which is a boutique brokerage, and also I also do property management, asset management for developers, and I'm also an investor in various different technology companies. And so that's the reason, and I love to travel because I'm part of a lot of the global organization. So CCM is one of them, which is based in Chicago. I'm a director there. And also for the Canadian real estate, for the REIC, I'm also the director over there. And also various different any real estate organization you can think of, I'm probably related to them somewhat. So that's the reason why. And I'm really fortunate to be invited by James to join Global Chamber and also be part of the Renaissance Global Group, which I'm helping leading the charge of growing the global network. And that is the reason why today I'm really happy to meet all the leaders on this call and really looking forward to building the relationship and have the connection with each one of you. Some of the people have putting in some requests, so I can probably connect you with some of the developers and also contacts. If I don't know them, I know someone in my network will. So that's the reason why we're trying to build up this community and where everybody share with each other different opportunities in not only in commercial real estate, hopefully in the future in any type of business. Thank you.
Thank you for being such a groundbreaking leader and being a member of Global Chamber. Thanks for having that vision. Appreciate it. And Duval, would you like to introduce yourself, please? Good morning. Oh, uh-oh.
No.
Anne said she wasn't feeling well today, so hard for her to speak.
Oh, I see.
Her
Okay,
details are in the chat though.
got it. And where is she based?
Dominican Republic, right, Anne? Yes, I believe she said the Dominican Republic. Yes.
DR is a
she-
lot of business. We got to talk. And when you feel better, the DR, yes.
Very good. Sorry I missed your note, and we'll definitely circle back. Feel free. Hopefully you'll feel better soon. Paula, how are you? Portugal is the number one.
Yes.
How are you? Would you like to introduce yourself?
Finally, after 500 years, Portugal discovered America, not Spain. Americans discovered Portugal.
That's funny. Very funny.
Yeah, that's very funny.
And
So,
what anything else you'd like to share about yourself?
well, I can share that I think everyone here knows me already, almost, but I can share that I work in real estate sector for the past almost 20 years. And recently, right in the beginning of the pandemic, I just switched sides, which mean that I don't sell products, James. I don't sell products. I sell services. Services to purchasers and investors who want to do something with property in Portugal. And so I believe I can share with you a few things about Portuguese real estate right in this 2025, so we can construct something from there with anyone, every person here in the future. When I started to work in real estate, Portugal was not the same it is now. Portugal has entered the real estate market radar in the investors radar, international radar of the investors since the past decade, not more. And since then, Portugal has been ranking in the first 10 places in a group of 35 countries. So it has been a very exciting thing for everyone inside the real estate business and outside also, because that's a lot to do with tourism. And the real estate, as other economy sectors, developed based on that touristic boom, that Portugal discovery. So nowadays, this year, we continue facing, in the residential segment, for instance, a strong imbalance between the supply and the demand, and this heads to quarter-over-quarter price growing. This year, we had 6% up only this year, and the past year, we had between 15 and 20% of price growing in the whole year. And it has been so in the past few years. The European Central Bank, the rates, the low supply, the high demand, a very high demand, and a recent focus on high-end segment, they contribute for this imbalance. So there's opportunities, of course. Presently, the new developments prevail over refurbishments, which is something new. in the past few years. And the price per square meter in Lisbon average is 7,000 euros per square meter, and in Porto 6,000, which is relatively high for new constructions, of course. Of course, the hospitality sector has a lot of impact in this. 2024, we had 68 new hotel openings, of which 28 were 4 and 5 stars. And this indicates that in Portugal is being established a trend to luxury segment and towards, incredibly, to the interior of the country, not only Lisbon and Porto. In 2025, the hospitality sector is the second best performing sector, with 25% of capital deployment.
Amazing.
Yeah.
Just as a time check, this meeting is scheduled for another 7 minutes, and we have a couple more people to introduce.
Okay.
Jim, what do you think? How should we spend the rest of our time?
Yeah, great.
I would still say introducing. Let's get it. If we stay a little longer, hopefully everyone would love to hear and just get to know. We have a couple more. And then we could do a follow-up, Doug, with reaching out, getting people plugged into the recess and organizing. I know a couple of you reached out. We could talk offline and start organizing, Doug, which we'll talk kind of following the chamber guidelines and everything else. So very exciting. But let's finish off with the rest. And if people have to drop, we want to be mindful of time, but let's get everyone in.
Okay, very good. I think we need to drop at the bottom of the hour. I know I need to leave. So if we could hear from Michael and Mark and anybody else that we missed, who would like to go next? Michael or Mark? Don't be shy.
No, you can go. Go ahead, Michael.
Well, I already went right at the beginning, but Mike O'Mara, I'm up outside of Boston, Mass, commercial broker for about 25 years. Really waded in the retail real estate landscape and investment sales, triple net lease, and 1031 exchanges. And as I said, I've made a big pivot into opportunity zones. Thank you.
Fantastic. Congratulations. Thanks, Mike. Mark.
Yes, thank you, Doug, and hello, everyone. So my name is Mark, and I was born and raised in Barcelona, Spain, but I lived in Brazil for over a decade, which is my second home. So today, what we do at Bossa Global Connection, where I am the co-founder, is we help both companies and investors navigate the Brazilian and the Spanish markets. And specifically here in Spain, one of the main services that we offer is the real estate investments, right? And again, I could say many similar things as Paula said also about Portugal. Spain is a powerhouse in terms of tourism, and it also brings a lot of investments in terms of real estate. And it is a market that's booming. Yields are very, very interesting, and it's a very secure business. So we see that a lot of international investors are coming to Spain as well. And we've got not only like big cities such as Barcelona or Madrid, but we also have some other important spots like Marbella or Ibiza in the Balearic Islands as well, right? So I've got at Bossa, we have a trusted network of very important and very experienced real estate brokers here in Spain, with whom we usually work with. It can be luxury real estate or not that luxury, but I would say we work from investments 1 million euros upwards. And again, we can work with luxury apartments, or we can work with villas, or we can work with chateaus as well, if we're talking about hotels looking for assets where they can build some boutique hotels or whatever. So we focus on high net worth individuals, but we also work specially with hospitality business companies. So in a nutshell, that's what we do. I've been in touch with Erica lately on that, and yeah, so it's very, very interesting and exciting to be here because, you know, it's just like this is really a market that's booming here. I really need partners because I cannot do this alone, and I love what I'm seeing here. So thank you so much, and thank you, James and Ellen, and obviously Doug as always. But it's great to see what's going on here. I'm very, very excited about this.
So as a next step, James, thank you, Mark. As a next step, we should definitely schedule another meeting and then kind of strategize about kind of the next steps on how to continue to make the progress. What do you think?
Yeah, Doug, so if this time works for everyone, and obviously as we grow globally, we can adjust to be fair to everyone. But if this time works, we can set this time to do a follow-up, reach out, start organizing, and I can start sharing some of the tools to make sure we're connected. And Doug, we can maybe find somebody within our own family or something of interest. You know, maybe somebody from, you know, when we were talking about the tariffs and everything else, getting one of our chamber members, maybe Will, to speak, right? Since he's a huge influencer, or Dr. Sarita Jackson, to speak because of what we gathered, and then really show the tools so we start building and forming our network. And I want to get business started for everyone. Like Mark said, oh boy, we may be over in Madrid for a Portal conference. So, you know, all around the world, we'll try to see each other, do meetups, right, with the Global Chamber, Doug, and really start connecting through tech and business, and doing without maybe spending so much time, but it's good to know each other. How we can maybe use LinkedIn, because that's what everyone does use. So we kind of connect, see what your capabilities are, getting things started. But you know, most of it is you got to get to know each other. You got to trust each other. That's why with Paula, I always like pick on Paula. I would send it, you know, to Paula and other people that I know, because I know my clients and people that we talk to will be in good hands. So Doug, let's do that. Let's set this time as a standing meeting. We'll take turns. Once we set up structure to let everyone MC or take the meetings, right? We want to groom leaders around the world. And then we'll put infrastructure and everything so we can really grow this into that real estate global community and do some business.
That sounds good. When you say set this time, would this be on a monthly basis?
Oh, I would say weekly. We don't sleep in real estate. We keep staying busy. If everyone doesn't mind, those that want to show up, those that don't. But I'm not one to 1 month. Can you imagine 1 month? You're not paying the bills, you're not doing deals. Let's do it on a weekly, Doug, because we have the energy, we have enough leaders. I know a lot of people here, they're doers. When Ed gets better, she'll be on the call running the stuff too. So no, this is exciting for everyone. Let's do this as a weekly, because global real estate doesn't sleep. We all know that. So let's just do it weekly, and I know I'm very positive this community here will grow into something special. Doug, take my word. This will be the biggest committee within Global Chamber very soon.
Fantastic. Thank you. So the next one then would be, let's see, I was looking back off into the future. What is this transition challenge? Oh, okay. So
yeah, the sixth next time.
So the sixth,
yeah,
the sixth at 9:30. If we shift it to 10 o'clock, would that cause any issues?
I'm
Or
okay
30
with
minutes
everyone
later?
else. Yeah.
Okay.
I know, Doug, you're busy as heck, and that's why I'm trying to help you free yourself up. So you got big picture stuff.
Well, I want to make sure that we have a relatively clear lane in terms of some other things going on and not have too much duplication. Jem is ill today, so she's not available. Otherwise, she'd have some input. But based on what I can see, next week at 10 a.m., which starts 30 minutes later than this one, we'll get that on the calendar right away. Make sure all of you are invited, and let's take the next step.
Perfect.
Amazing. Thank you, Jim.
Thank you, everyone. Reach out. Let's connect and see everyone next week. Have a great weekend.
Thank you, everybody.
Thanks,
Thank you.
everybody.
Thank you. Amazing. Thank you so much.
Thank you very much.
Thank you, Anne. Appreciate it. We'll catch you next time. Thanks, Khalid and Victor. Thanks, everybody.
Thanks, Doug. See you. Great. This will be very, very, very good. Thank you.
We're making progress step by step.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Let me know if I can assist somehow. Helping with anything.
Okay, thank you. Well, we definitely need some help.
Yeah. Ciao. Bye-bye. Have a nice weekend, Doug.
Bye,
You too.
everyone.
Ciao. Thank you, Khalid.
ਉਹ ਤਾਰਕ ਨੇ ਕਿਸੇ ਬੰਦੇ ਨੂੰ ਲਿਆਉਣਾ ਸੀ ਅੱਜ ਮੇਰਾ ਜੁਮਾਪਣ ਗਿਆ ਹੋਗਾ ਨਾ ਹਨਾ ਪਤਾ ਨਹੀਂ ਉੱਥੇ ਯੂਕੇ ਤੋਂ ਕੋਈ ਬੰਦੇ ਆਏ ਨੇ ਉਹਨੂੰ ਕਿਹਾ ਸੀ ਜੁਮਾ ਪੜਨ ਗਿਆ ਹੋਗਾ ਹਾਂ ਯੂਕੇ ਤੋਂ ਕਹਿ ਰਿਹਾ ਸੀ